So for this next tutorial, we're going to focus on creating an effect with static images that looks like it's done from video, meaning you're zooming in and zooming out or panning left, panning right. So let me show you an example here. And you can see how that image looks like, and I'll show you again. It looks like you're kind of zooming out and the image is sliding, coming into frame. Now that's normally the type of effect you would associate with using a video camera or camera and using the video part of it. But this is actually done with a static image, which is great. You don't have to worry about having a steady hand or having the extra equipment to make a smooth pan like that with your camera. You can do that with just a static image. So let me show you how to create this effect by going ahead and I'll drag another image in here. So I have several over here, and let's see what might look good. That's the same one right there. Let's go ahead and do this one. What we'll do is we'll create a top up and down type of effect. So where you want to be is over here in the video settings. So again, here's audio, here's text. Let's make sure you're on video properties. And then we're going to do what's called add a video action. Now you want to add a video action to the image that you want the effect. So just be careful you're not, don't have text selected or something else. Have the image selected that you want to do this to. Click add video action. You'll notice this little yellow area pops up here. Now if this is too small, like you'll notice if you're zoomed in, that can be, start to get too small to work with. So feel free to make sure you're zoomed in enough so you can work with this. Now, let me back up here. What'll happen is where this slider is at is where you want the action to start. And then let this yellow area, you can think of it as telling how long you want this video action to be. And so I want it to be for the whole time of this image. But let me give you an example. Let's say maybe we just want it for 16 seconds, and then it's going to just stop for that last second of the image. So I'll show you what that looks like. So now what I want to do is first, where the image is at the beginning of this little time frame here, this marker, that's where this whole effect is going to start. And I want this to kind of look like it's going down to, up to down, down to up, down to up. So you have this area that's not in focus, and then it's going to bring in the rest of it that'll be more in focus. So we have this here, and then I'm going to bring the marker over here, and I'm telling it this is where I want it to be by the time it gets to that point. So I'm going to give you an example of that. So again, here, when it's here, the image is here. When at the end of this video action, the image is going to be here. So let's see, watch what it looks like when it travels across that. So you can see it's moving up, and then it stops for this last second. Now I might think, actually I want it to go for the whole period of time. I don't want it to stop. So let's look at that. Now you notice it's moving just a little bit slower than before, and that's because it has this extra second it's traveling to get to this same end result. Now if it's still traveling too fast and you think, wow, I actually want that to go a little bit slower. So your options are, you have a couple options. You can either have the image not travel as far, so maybe you slide it down a little bit, and you can see this, so that slowed it down. But maybe you're thinking, well, I still want it to end all the way up here, so you have this maximum area of the photo that's in focus. So your other option is the starting point. Whoops, looks like we have a little frozen issue. Okay, so the starting point is here. We can move this up, so this means it doesn't have as far to travel. So let's take a look at that. So you can see that slowed it down because, again, the image didn't have as far to travel from where you told it to start and where you told it you want the image to be when it ends. Now, something else you can do again is we can add those transitions we talked about before. So you can add those starting and ending transitions. You can see the image fades in, fades out. And just like before, you may decide that, you know what, I don't want to see myself as part of that transition. So we already separated the audio from the video. So we can go ahead and just move the video portion so that make a clean break, and now it'll transition to black. And then watch, it'll transition to black again. Kind of fades to black before fades back to me. Same thing. Now, if I want the white, I want to keep this white theme, because over here we have it fading to white. So if you want to keep this white background, you could just drag it over like this, or you can copy this and paste it. And so what happened is it pasted it up here. You can just drag it down below. So now what'll happen is it fades to white, and then it faded to white in, and then it fades to white as it's leaving. So that's the way to create a video pan. Let me show you another example here. In this pan, it's traveling. You can see the image up here. It's moving kind of diagonally down. So you can tell it what you want it to do. Now let's go ahead, and I'm going to delete, and you just click on it and delete that video action. Let's start over with this image here. And let's see, let's say I just want to go more from left to right. So it's starting completely to the right, or right to left. And then for the ending, oh, sorry, I need to add the video action. So add in a video action, drag it like this. Now be careful when you're dragging. If you have a transition, sometimes you can click on the transition part. So just be aware, and see now it starts moving the whole clip. So click on that so that it's yellow. Whoop, it did it again. So sometimes maybe that clip inspector is in the way. Still doing it. If it's getting too tricky, you can try zooming in a little bit more. So you have a little more space to work with. It's still grabbing it. Now it's moving it. Okay. So what you can do is you can just remove the transition. Oops. Remove starting transition. Then you can add it back when this is done. It just, sometimes it gets in the way. Okay, so we'll create our video transition, or video action. I'm going to put it at the end. And this time I'm telling it I want it to go all the way to the left. So it's going to travel from left to right. I said that right. So now you can see it's moving across, just like that. Now, if again it's moving too quickly, I can either don't have it travel quite as far. So let's watch it again. Okay, it's moving more slowly. But maybe it's still like, I want to move even slower. So maybe now we'll adjust the starting. And let's move the starting over just a little bit. Let's try that again. You're like, okay, that's great. I like that. Nice slow. Maybe though you also want this, you want to see more of the speaker in the picture. So let's go to the ending here. Click on that, and let's bring it in here a little bit tighter, like so. And now you can see as more of the speaker is starting to come into the image. So again, you can keep playing with it, keep tweaking with it till you get it how you like it. And then we deleted that initial transition, so we'll right click on it, add starting transition. There we go, we got our starting transition back. Fades to white again, and then it fades again. It's going up and down. So you can see how these fades are great. These transitions, these video actions are really effective to use with a static image. And so it's something, it's just a neat effect. You can just take some great pictures and have it look like you're doing some cool videography when really it's just kind of a trick of the software, so to speak, to give you that nice smooth pan. and nice smooth effect that way to create more interest with your videos. So hopefully that was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next tutorial.